Okay, this will be an interesting one. Going here, going to do something interesting with that. Come on, Konica. How big are we going to make this? Going 400. It's quite a small piece I'm doing. So let's see if we can make it look good. Going to reverse the colours. Oh fuck, it cannot be used. Text enhance. You can't use that with that. So we're just going here. Background colour. What shall we use? Fuck, it's a hard choice. I think we're leaving it off. Colour adjust. What are we going to do with this? This will be a challenging one. Oh, I just heard a click noise. That don't sound too healthy. Ah, dear. Photocopiers indeed. Or Konica Minolta. Oh, they make some shit. Ah, just... But then every other brand is a load of shit too. Photocopiers are shit. The way they're made, the way they're designed, they're just not very intelligently made or designed. They're just shit. Honestly, I just have got no respect for the industry anymore. I don't care about the industry as much. I think it's a load of shit. It has to be... The industry has to be... How should I put it? Pulled apart. It's got to be dismantled. The whole industry. Now we've got here a bit of white, so we can turn that into something, but it's going to go black when I change it, so I'm just going to keep it on that. Basically, yeah, this is what we photocopy. But basically, I've got no respect for companies like Konica Minolta anymore. I don't feel a sense of fandom for them. I'm no longer a fan, I'm just a critique. I'm just a user and someone who's really out there to critique them. Seriously, critique them heavily because they are shit. They don't know what they're doing, or they know what they're doing. They're making huge profit at the expense of the product, at the expense of the customer. Now that looks good, but I'm thinking I should have put a background colour in because that looks a bit yuck. I'm thinking yellow would have been a good colour. There's a bit of yellow there actually. So I'm wondering, what are we going to do with this? It's a nice shape. I've got the shape correct. We're going to do another one. Let's see if we can just add a background colour to make it look more interesting. But yeah, Konica Minolta just don't know what they're doing. They just want to make money and that's all they care about. They don't care about the product as such. It's more to do with profiteering, like most companies do these days. Profiteering, it's not a good look for a company to do that, but that's what they do. You got to believe me, you know, it's like, fuck, everything's all fucking driven by revenue. Gonna hit press that. Okay, let's see if we can make an even better one than that. So yeah, I just have no fucking respect. I just use their gear and that's it. I just use their fucking shit. And if I don't like what they've created, I'm going to keep criticising it. Now, that's cold. Now, that in some ways I was thinking that was shit. But in other ways, I'm thinking that's quite nice like that. Strangely enough. Very strange. This is a bit... So I think that blue looks actually quite nice. Shades of blue and cyan and against the yellow. It doesn't always look good like that, but it does in this case. So we're just going to consign this to rubbish. And we're going to just use this as our master copy. So now we're just going to switch it to copied paper. And we're just going to do some other tweaks and here and there. So we're just going to go up here. We're going to make it 104. We're going to make this into our master copy. But yeah, I'm just amazed at how the industry has become a real shit. This machine only has 5 years worth of spare parts available. It's really dumb. I used to think that the minimum, when I was a 13-year-old, 14-year-old, or it was when I was 13, I'm pretty sure, I used to think 10 years is basically the minimum amount of time that spare parts should be available. and I was only a 13-year-old. If a 13-year-old can think logically, well, an adult should know better. But basically, there are adult people running the industry. They don't have any childlike curiosities about the stuff now. They just think, oh, money, money, money. That's all they care about. And it's not childlike. It often ends up being childish. You know, the ads they use where people are almost jumping up and down just with madness, trying to sell a product by doing stupid things in the advert. You know, these strange adverts. They do all sorts of things. They'll do anything for money. They'll make fools of themselves. They'll jump up and down and go just so they can make money. That's just an example. And that's basically what they do in the ads, is just trying to get your attention, try to get you to remember the product. Or they say you have to buy it, or otherwise this will go wrong, or that'll go wrong. All this rubbish. Honestly, I have no fucking respect for anything like that. And I just hate the people that run this shit. Now that's gone a funny colour. Fuck me dead. Look at that. We're getting some really weird tweaks happening here, really weird results happening. I'm wondering, that's really weird. I don't know if I like it or not. I just don't know. But yeah, people are just jumping up and down, going mad, spinning around, yelling and screaming and all this stuff just to make a fucking dollar. Honestly, I have no respect for the way things are run these days. I've got no fucking respect. I'm just thinking we're going to stop this. I think I don't like that orange terribly well. So I'm thinking we're just going to go here. And we're just going to get some more tweaks. I think the hue might be too hot. So we're just going to chuck it in the middle. And maybe red. We're going to leave it on red. But basically, yeah, people are just doing stupid things just to get their product. They're often attention-seeking things, like making those noises like I just demonstrated for illustration. I mean, seriously. People, it's not good for our planet, and it's not good for people who are slaves to Konica Minolta, the poor little wage slaves in China and in Vietnam who make these machines so that we can have something to use in the office. They don't get any fucking glory. They don't get paid enough for their work, their hard, diligent work. And, you know, they just get ripped off. Just like, you know, why can't they make it in Japan? It's because the Japanese probably expect more realistic wages, whereas in China and Vietnam, the poor little workers have endured decades of being treated like slaves. Correct me if I'm wrong, but basically these poor little Chinese are used to being treated like shit so they can survive. So companies like Konica Minolta make their equipment offshore, just like we Australians have our stuff made in China as well. It's not just Japan, it's not just the USA, it's Australia, and it stinks. You know, there's got to be more local manufacturing, not just in Australia, not just in Japan or anywhere. It's got to be around the world. I mean, it's got to be worse for our environment anyway, because we have to ship the stuff back to our countries to sell it, and that's like more fucking CO2 from the ships. So it's not bloody right, you know, for our planet and for the people. And people on the home shores like Japan or Australia, well, there's going to be less jobs in manufacturing, and it's just such a wrong thing. So you don't have any jobs in manufacturing. That's a bit of an imbalance. Not everyone can be a fucking money fucker or an office worker. You can't just have Office Works. Office Works, that's actually the name of a chain of office supply stores that we have here in Aussie land. So, yeah, but Office Works, well, that's obviously why they called it Office Works, because people obviously say it offhandishly like I do, and I just did a bit of advertising for fucking Office Works by saying that. So basically that's how sneaky advertising can be, anyway. But that looks quite interesting. I think now I can call it quits.